Join me as I take a deep dive and investigate all the different types of hidden cameras that could be in your house right now. In today's world, surveillance is something we have all just become accustomed to in our daily lives. Wherever we go, we see security cameras installed in public spaces, in stores, and even in our neighborhoods. I mean, come on. I only know of maybe two houses on my entire block that might not have some kind of a security camera. Be it regular security cameras, doorbell cameras, or hidden cameras, they are all around us all the time. How many of your neighbors have security cameras up? How many of those cameras have eyes on you and your property? Have you ever stopped to really think about all the hidden cameras that might be watching us? You know, the ones we can't see, the ones that are designed to blend in and go unnoticed. Well, that is exactly what we will discuss in this video. We're going to talk about all those hidden cameras, why they can be so hard to find, and what you can do to protect yourself from them. One of the biggest challenges of identifying hidden cameras is the advanced technology behind them. These tiny devices are getting smaller and smaller, more discreet and more powerful by the day. They can be hidden in the most unlikely of places too, from clock radios to smoke detectors, stuffed animals to plant hangers, pens to coffee cups, and even in our own devices like our smartphones, tablets, computers, and laptops. It's easy to overlook these extremely discreet devices, especially when we're surrounded by so many other distractions. This video is sponsored by OREP Insurance and Working PI Magazine. OREP is a leading provider of private investigator liability insurance. Visit orep.org for a quote today. Look around right now. How many things are just laying around your house, your office, or even inside your vehicle? Be honest with yourself. Count all of the items you see that you have not interfaced with, used, or even taken notice of in the last week. With all of that junk laying around, it would be easy for someone to introduce just about any type of hidden camera, and you probably would never notice it, as it would just become part of the visual noise in the room. Another reason we often miss them is because we're not looking for them in the first place. Most of us usually assume that we are safe, that our privacy is protected, and that no one is watching us. But the truth is, we're constantly being monitored, and it's up to you to take control of your own privacy. That complacency is our worst enemy. If we believe we are safe, if we believe that privacy laws will protect us, if we believe no one is or would be watching us, well, that makes it even easier for someone to slip in a hidden camera, because we will never think to look for one in the first place. I will go over some easy steps that you can take when looking for hidden cameras in just a moment, so hang on. The ease of use and accessibility of hidden cameras is another factor that makes them so hard to detect. Anyone can buy them online, and they're often marketed as home security devices or nanny cams. But the line between security and invasion of privacy is thin, and it's easy for the bad guys to cross that line. And the cost of these devices is very low. I have seen hidden cameras online for 10 to 20 bucks. And for those that want to splurge a little, well, they might spend $50 to $100. Furthermore, the placement of these cameras is often strategic, designed to capture your most sensitive information or your most private moments. The manufacturers of these hidden cameras will usually tell you how to use them, how to access them, and how to deploy them so they are not highly noticeable. It often can feel like a cat and mouse game where the person doing the surveillance on you is always one step ahead of you. And even if you do suspect that you are being watched, it's hard to prove and even harder to do anything about it. Professional bug sweeps cost thousands of dollars because professional bug sweep equipment costs tens and even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Who has that kind of money laying around? And if you have it and you hire a professional TSCM bug sweep company and they come up with nothing, well, what do you do then? Here is a big secret about TSCM. It is quite common in the bug sweeping industry to not find anything. Yep, we often do not find any hidden cameras, recording devices, trackers, or other types of eavesdropping devices. And that is not because of equipment failure. That is not because of lack of diligence. It is because of the types of devices that are out there. Some of these devices can be turned on and off today. Yep, They can be remotely accessed so the bad guys can watch you at will, but then when they aren't watching you, they simply turn the device off. And if it's off, well, it's not transmitting any radio signals. There is no heat signature from an operating device, and it is saving battery life. Then the device may send out a ping once an hour or every 2 hours or whatever schedule it is set to call home and see if the owner wants to reestablish a connection and start watching you again. Most hidden cameras today fall into the category of drop devices or burst devices. Burst devices can be recording all the time, but they transmit on a set schedule, like every hour or at 2 o'clock in the morning. Drop devices, which are the most common, are deployed. Then the culprit who put it there to spy on you comes back and removes it. They might remove it because the battery needs to be charged. They might remove it because they need to get the video off of the SD card. They might remove it so you don't find it, and then they reintroduce it when they need to surveil you again in the future. Something most people don't realize is that the consequences of being unaware of hidden cameras can be severe. Sometimes the bad guys want to blackmail you, catch you doing something questionable, and use video or photo evidence to extort money from you. And sometimes the bad guy is looking to commit identity theft. Yep, if they can see you logging into your bank accounts or other websites with personally identifying information with your phone, tablet, or computer, well, they can easily get your login and password credentials. And you know, the risk of that happening can have long-lasting damage. So it's essential that we educate ourselves on different types of hidden cameras, how they work, and where they're commonly found. By being proactive and taking control of your own privacy, you can reduce the risks and protect yourself from those prying eyes. Let's talk about some of the most common types of hidden cameras out there today. There are the ones that look like ordinary objects like pens, clocks, lighters, children's toys, just about anything, but have a tiny camera hidden inside. These devices run on battery power, so they have certain limitations. Then there are the ones that are disguised as electrical outlets, light bulbs, or USB charging ports. These cameras are often wireless and can transmit video and audio in real time to anyone who has access to the device. And these types of devices usually run off the electrical circuit that they are connected to. Then there are cameras that can be hidden in our own devices, like laptops or smartphones and tablets, using special software or malware to watch our every move, see everything we do on the internet, see all of our keystrokes, and even see us through the cameras of these devices. And there are also cameras that are placed in public spaces like restrooms or locker rooms to capture the most intimate moments of our lives. Or they could be outside on a light pole or a street sign, hidden in a bush or a tree, or even hidden in plain view in and around utility boxes. One of the most shocking facts about hidden cameras is that they can be found in places we least expect them. For example, did you know that some hotels and Airbnb rentals have been known to install hidden cameras in their rooms? Yep, it is true. Now, I do believe the vast majority of owners of these establishments run an honest business, but then there are those that could care less. This is a shocking violation of our privacy, and it's happening more often than we think. In fact, a recent survey I read about found that 1 in 10 hotels and vacation rentals have hidden cameras installed in their rooms. 1 in 10. That is 10%. And this is a disturbing trend and one that we need to be aware of when we're traveling. The technology behind hidden cameras is also advancing rapidly. We are now seeing more and more cameras that use AI-powered facial recognition, object detection, and motion tracking. These cameras can learn our habits, our routines, and our secrets and use that information to manipulate us or exploit us. It's a scary thought and one that you need to take seriously. The surveillance state is real, and it's up to you to take control of your own privacy before it's too late. So what can we do to detect hidden cameras? First, we need to be more aware of our surroundings and look for anything that seems out of place. When you are looking for a hidden camera, you need to look at everything in every nook and cranny and scrutinize everything you see that you do not recognize. You can use a device like the Spy Finder Pro to detect hidden cameras. With this device, you simply look through the lens with the lights flashing, and any camera lens will be seen as a flashing silver or blue reflection. You can also use a personal space detector to look for rogue radio transmissions. Now, if you buy the cheap ones, you will be chasing ghosts all the time, so make sure you get a good quality one. You also need to check your devices like phones, tablets, laptops, and computers for any suspicious software or malware and use privacy protecting apps and browsers. And be more mindful of your online activities. If you are clicking on links in emails or text messages or on websites that look interesting but you don't know for sure where they're taking you, you could be walking right into a major surveillance trap. Avoid sharing sensitive information on public Wi-Fi networks. Yep, you know, those free Wi-Fi networks at your favorite restaurants, coffee shops, and meeting places. Those can all be easily cloned and still provide you with internet connectivity, all while they grab your login information, emails, and other sensitive data that you access while connected. The bottom line is that the world of hidden cameras is a complex and disturbing world that is ever-changing, growing, and advancing day to day. But by being aware of the risks and taking control of your own privacy, you can reduce the risks and protect yourself from those prying eyes.